Jason stood in front of his apartment mirror, adjusting the collar of his only decent shirt for what felt like the 10th time. His 9-year-old daughter, Ellie, giggled from the couch. "You look nervous, Dad. Is she a princess or something?" Jason laughed, though his hand still trembled slightly. "No, just someone nice I met online. It's just dinner. That's all." In truth, it had taken him months to even consider dating again. After his wife passed away 3 years ago, his world had become small, just work, school runs, laundry, repeat. Ellie was everything. But tonight, something felt different. A new chapter maybe. When the knock finally came, he wiped his palms on his jeans, took a breath, and opened the door. Standing there was Ava, shoulder-length brown curls, a bright smile, and eyes filled with something unspoken. She was beautiful, confident. But before Jason could even say, "Hello," Ava blurted out. "I hope this isn't weird, but my kids are waiting in the car." Jason froze. "In the car?" "Yeah, I couldn't find a sitter. I thought this might be a quick meetup, and I didn't want to cancel again." Jason blinked, momentarily unsure what to say. But Ellie suddenly ran up behind him, peeking around the door. "Are you the lady who likes pizza and science podcasts?" Ava chuckled. "That's me." "Cool. I like space stuff too." Jason glanced back and forth between Ava and Ellie. Then he made a decision. "Bring them in," he said. "All of you. It's just pizza and conversation, right?" 15 minutes later, his tiny apartment was full of laughter. Ava's twin boys, Liam and Max, were in a heated Mario Kart race with Ellie. Ava sat across from Jason, her eyes softening with something like gratitude. "You didn't have to do this," she said quietly, sipping her soda. "Honestly? I'm glad you didn't find a sitter," Jason replied. "This feels real." She smiled, then sighed. "Their dad left 2 years ago. Said he wasn't built for fatherhood. Since then, it's been me, them, and a long list of cancelled plans. It's hard to trust people with your chaos." Jason looked over at the kids, then back to her. "I live in chaos. We might be a good team." A long pause followed. Not awkward, just true. The evening stretched longer than they expected. They ordered pizza, watched the kids put on a silly talent show, and even talked about grief, how it changes everything and everyone. At one point, Ellie whispered to Jason, "She seems like she gets it, Dad." "Like you do." He squeezed her hand. "Yeah, she does." When Ava finally stood to leave, she hesitated at the door. "This was the best blind date I never expected," she said. "And maybe, not so blind after all." Jason raised an eyebrow. She smiled. "I saw more clearly tonight than I have in years." 6 months later. The same apartment. A few more shoes by the door. 2 backpacks by the couch. A calendar with 5 names now instead of 2. Jason stirred the spaghetti. A few weeks later, on a quiet evening after the kids had gone to bed, Jason and Ava sat out on the small balcony of his apartment. The city hummed softly around them. They shared a single blanket, a cup of lukewarm tea, and that rare kind of silence that only exists between people who no longer need to fill the air with words. "I never thought I'd find peace again," Ava said, her voice barely louder than the breeze. Jason looked at her. "You thought peace was gone?" "I thought it died the day he left. Not just him, what he took with him. Stability. Safety. Someone to lean on. For a long time, it was just me keeping everything together with tape and prayers." Jason nodded. He knew that kind of survival. He had lived it. "For me," he said, "it was when Rachel passed. It felt like someone pulled the ground out from under me. I kept smiling for Ellie, but inside, I was just floating. Directionless. Ava leaned into him, resting her head on his shoulder. Then how'd you find your way back? He paused, thoughtful. You walked up to my door. Told me your kids were waiting in the car. She smiled softly. The best accident of my life. They sat there for a while, listening to the wind, the distant traffic, the muffled laughter of children dreaming behind the walls. It wasn't long before the conversation turned toward logistics. 2 apartments. 3 kids. 2 schedules. 1 growing love. Do you think, Ava started carefully, that we're building something permanent? Jason didn't hesitate. I think we already have. By spring, they'd rented a slightly bigger place, not fancy, but with a yard, and a tiny tree in front that the kids swore they'd decorate every season. Moving day was chaos, pizza boxes, half-labeled bins, Ava tripping over toys and Jason losing track of where he packed the can opener. But it was perfect. They painted the walls together. The kids got to pick the colors for their shared playroom, ending in a messy compromise of sky blue and rocket ship silver. There were movie nights, burnt popcorn, school runs in the rain, and late-night whispers after everyone else had gone to sleep. Nothing flashy. Nothing grand. Just real love, in its purest, simplest form. One Sunday, while everyone was out back, Ellie tugged on